Check this out. Check this out. Oh, 95.
How amazing would it be if we could have a very small-sized computer, one that is as light as an egg, do all the tough jobs that we want to do in our normal day-to-day life. Whether it was editing, whether it was replying to emails, whether it was streaming a movie for your kids who are impatiently waiting for you to be done of your remote working day from home. Alibaba has the answer.
Now, it's been a while, Omnia, since we've talked about Alibaba and Jack Ma. Now,
Yes.
if you remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're
An OG Future
of
Talk.
Future Talk, you know that Omnia loves Alibaba, loves Jack Ma and everything that company does. And now they're coming back to the playing field with Alibaba Cloud rolling out a series of products in its recent 12th annual conference, which was highlighting their commitment to helping people adapt more to the digitized world and accelerate customers' digital transformation during and after the coronavirus pandemic.
We're talking about the very first cloud computer, first ever cloud computer. It is the size of your palm, quite literally. It weighs about 60 grams, not even less than a kilo, and it's light as an egg. But don't be fooled. It might be tiny, but it's definitely mighty. It offers high performance computing thanks to all of its back-end cloud resources.
Now, Omnia, something that really caught my eye is the rendering on it, because it does say it can reduce the rendering time of one frame high resolution animation from 90 minutes to only 10 minutes.
And we're talking
So,
90 minutes on a regular PC.
computer, we're talking about a big computer, not 890 to 10. That's a big number. Now, what they're saying is that all user data will also be stored on the cloud for data center grade security and protection measures as well, which will be available initially for enterprise customers. Now, the cloud computers will also be available for purchase by individual consumers in the near future. So far, they're focusing on enterprises, big companies, but soon enough, it will be for the individual and personal use.
Yes, indeed. But looking at this cloud computer, a lot of you may be wondering, what can it help me do as a regular, normal human being, not associated with a certain company? The cloud computer can actually help everyone access very resilient computing power. So we're talking all about the tough jobs that you would want to do, or that you would want to do on your computer. So video editing, animation rendering, software development, online customer services. These are all tasks that you, as a regular user or someone as a professional in the field, would want to do on your computer. But anyone who is in the field would know it takes a lot of rendering power. It consumes so much energy out of your computer that if you don't have a strong one, and if you don't have one that you could depend on, you'll basically be waiting hours on end to finish one task. So imagine doing it on a very tiny computer.
Yes, Omnia, 100%. Now, let's talk about something Alibaba also did announce. Now, we love our autonomous vehicles, and we
Yes.
love everything that has to do with robots, AI, and autonomous things that we don't have to touch. Now, Alibaba Cloud did also unveil its autonomous logistics robot for last mile deliveries. Now, it was developed by the Alibaba Damo Academy, which is the global research initiative by the Alibaba Group. And what can it do? It can carry up to 50 packages at one time and cover over 100 kilometers in just one charge.
I mean, this just sounds like music to my ears, and I'm sure to all those delivery employees who are working day in and day out. This mobile robot can actually deliver packages, and we're not just talking about one package. We're talking about as many as 500 packages per day. And the best part about it is it's there for last mile delivery. So instead of, having a delivery employee go from the van to the house of a person or a certain apartment complex, you just send out this robot. And we all know that, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, online shopping has definitely been booming more than ever. So having such a robot be able to basically increase all of your expectations as a customer on how fast you can receive your delivery will definitely be very much appreciated. Now, best part about this robot is it can also plan out its route.
Yes, Omnia. And now that's where we see AI and machine learning come into play. And it is said that it can cover over 500 packages in one day. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is a lot of packages. And I don't think even humans, a single
Nope.
person, can deliver up to 500 packages in one day. And it's funny because the robot can also schedule its route even in a crowded environment with high definition positioning technology, and can also operate even when there's weak or no GPS signal as well. So we're seeing AI, machine learning all come into contact when in this little autonomous vehicle.
Quite literally, and it can also identify any obstacles on its way. So you don't have to worry about this robot, tripping on something, tripping on the rock on its way to do its last mile delivery. It can actually predict your movement as a passenger, and within a very few seconds, it can actually change its route to make sure that everyone is safe. Whenever we're talking about tiny but mighty, I'm always going to be thinking about this robot.
Yes, indeed, Omnia. And I like this robot. I like Alibaba, what they're doing. Omnia loves Jackma. Jackma, if you're listening, please come on to the show. We do want to interview, but we're taking a short break. And when we come back, we got everything you need to know about what's happening in the tech world.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
If you guys didn't know, you're listening to Pulse 95, ladies and gentlemen. It is Future Talk with me, Hani Bilqis and Omnia Saleh, and we're here to give you what are the email apps iOS 14 now lets you set as a default. Now, iOS 14 has been making a lot of noise in the world. Around the world, a lot of people are happy because it does give you so much more customization, a lot of new security features, and your email can now be customizable, ladies and gentlemen, because Apple's iOS 14 iPad OS did launch last week, which introduced a ton of new features to the company's smartphone and tablets, which does include the option to change your default browser and default email apps to services like Chrome or even Outlook to handle links by default instead of through Apple's native Safari and Mail apps.
Yes, indeed. Now, for all those who have been not the biggest fans of the Mail app, myself included, I think Gmail is much better. But for any of you who have been dearly wanting to change the default app to any other email app, now is your chance, because there is a list that Apple is allowing us to basically set as our default browsers and default emails. As for emails, the available options are a little slim nowadays, but they're definitely going to be expand as time goes on. Now, the first thing you have to do before we even tell you about any of those email apps is to go ahead and update your operating system to iOS 14.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Also, if you do have that Apple Watch, do update it as well. Omni, did you try the ECG yet?
No.
Oh.
Have you tried it?
Yes, I have.
It works?
It works, 100%.
I need to see a demo
just like
during the break.
It was amazing, like candy. My dad loved it. But so far, there's a list of alternative default email apps that they can confirm so far, which is Outlook, Hey, and Spark. Now, if you want to change your default mail app to one of the following alternatives, what you need to do first, ladies and gentlemen, is update to iOS 14 and then head into the settings app of your iPhone or iPad and find the specific email app you wish to set as your default. You'll tap on the setting inside that reads Default Mail App and then tap on the app of choice. Now, regardless of which app settings you open up, other available email apps, at least one that supports iOS 14's new default settings, will also appear as an option. Now,
yes,
you will notice that Gmail is missing from that list.
And that is, I think, the saddest news ever since iOS 14 has been up. But Google announced this weekend that you will be able to set Gmail as your default email app in the coming days. So we still have a little bit of hope for all of this, but it's unclear when other email apps like Yahoo, for those of you who still use Yahoo, will update their iPhone apps to support iOS 14. As far as of now, we have Outlook, Hey, Spark, and Gmail coming soon. Apple did give developers 1 day notice on when iOS 14 and iPad OS OS 14 would be available to customers. So it may take some time for all of those email developers to be able to adapt to the iOS 14. Now, ever since since we're talking about this, I do have to bring to the surface one bug that iOS 14 has been creating for a lot of users, which is the fact that it resets your default browser and default mail.
Yes.
If you restart your phone, which has been quite disappointing, if I may say so myself.
But Omnia, do you know why it restarts?
Why? Why does it reset, you mean?
It resets to Safari and the normal mail for Apple, because the optimization of those apps it works better with the iPhone.
But then why bring a feature if it doesn't work as smoothly?
No, it's not that working smoothly or not. Now, Apple is making stuff for Apple.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Now, even with your MacBook Pro, or your MacBook or iPad, if you download Google Chrome, you will see a big drain in energy and memory usage.
Versus using Safari.
Safari is optimized for the MacBook Pro and MacBook Pro only. Not Pro, but MacBooks in general.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens if we're talking about using Safari on a Windows computer. It's not going to be that good.
Yeah, I think the main issue here is the lack of notice that Apple gave to email developers, because one day is not enough to adapt to your platform, and they kind of had to rush into adapting their platforms if they wanted to be a part of the hype. So yeah, I guess we have.
What do you use, Omni, on your phone?
I use the Mail app, but I also really enjoy web browser, Safari, but I do enjoy Gmail.
Okay.
So
I use Google Chrome.
Okay.
And I have Outlook on my phone. I have Gmail on my phone, and I have the Mail app on my phone.
But
I use all three.
They're not all integrated with
Not integrated with each other, but I like that because one is for work, one is for personal, one is for normal news announcements. Now, I want to ask you guys, 4215 Dora Salat or at Pulse95 Radio on Instagram, what is your default browser? That's number one. And number two, do you use only one mailing app, or do you have more than one like me?
That's
or
nice
like Omnia, where
I
you have...
do use two. So Gmail and or Mail app, I guess.
Or Gmail and Mail app, or you have everything into one. Like Gmail does have that feature.
Yeah.
4215 Durat Salat. Let us know what you guys are using. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're talking about coffee.
My favorite story for the day.
I love coffee, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm on coffee right now. And always remember, Hani runs on coffee. We're taking a short break and coming back, we're talking about a smart coffee cup. Stay tuned.
Gadget of the day.
New tech you might want to play with.
Pulse 95.
How many times have you made a cup of coffee, a hot cup of coffee, made it, drank a sip or two, left it, and came back only to find it ice cold?
Not me at all.
Really?
I'll drink it one and go.
No way.
I cannot wait for that morning coffee.
I mean, morning coffee, I agree, but like,
Coffee in
let's say
general?
an afternoon pick me up.
Afternoon pick me up is when I drink it hot.
Well, this is exactly why all the mothers will actually agree on this. A lot of the times you make your cup of coffee, you take care of the kids, or let's say you get busy with work emails, and little do you know, your coffee has gone cold. So what do you do?
What do you do, Omnia?
You get tech to fix the issue.
Exactly. Now, we have a smart mug, ladies and gentlemen, which was designed by a company called Ammunition, which does connect to your phone through Bluetooth and allows you to set an ideal temperature for whatever you're drinking, and it goes to up to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, once the beverage does reach that temperature, the mug will maintain it. Now, we're talking about maintaining a temperature, and especially when it's coffee. So that is
I
really...
love it hot.
I love it hot, and that's really crazy. I like it hot but warm in a way, so I can drink it in one gulp. Now, after 2 hours of sitting idle, the cup does automatically go into sleep mode as a safety measure. But if you keep moving it, it will keep that drink warm. So if you're moving the drink a little bit, or you keep taking sips of that drink, it's going to maintain that temperature. So if you like it hot or warm, it's always going to stay hot and warm.
I love this invention because, you know, on the outside, the mug is called Ember. The Ember mug actually looks like a regular cup. You wouldn't think much of it, but beneath its unbreakable double-walled stainless steel surface is where the magic happens. So there's complex tech making this mug seem very simple on the outside, but in reality, it can keep your mug warm. It can keep the drink inside it warm or cold, depending on what your drink is. It has 4 sensors that are found within its surface, and they can actually relay temperature information to a microprocessor that is found in that mug's base. So this is the element that tells your mug to keep heating up or to cool it back down. Best part about it is you can actually recharge this cup. Who would have thought that, you know, in the age of 2020, COVID-19, where we're working from home 24/7, we can go ahead and recharge our cups. Now, obviously, this mug is hand wash only because of how sensitive and delicate it is, but you can go ahead and rest it on top of a conductive coaster that will recharge the mug for your next morning or afternoon pick-me-up.
So if you have 600 dirhams lying around, you can buy this mug, ladies and gentlemen. Because it does
Look,
go
it
for
looks
a
at half
retail
your
price
price.
at 600 dirhams. Now, if you're a coffee addict like me,
I would
and
get it.
you don't mind paying a little bit of dineros, 600 dirhams is fine. But I mean, I'd rather put it in the microwave instead of paying 600 dirhams.
Look, it's
600 dirhams for. I mean, I love the idea. But paying 600 dirhams to keep your coffee warm, you'd see me putting it in the microwave every 2 seconds.
Look, it is expensive. I'll tell you that. But it is an investment for life. And
What
especially...
if I break it? If it falls?
I was going to say, if like you're a mom and let's say by mistake your son breaks it, God help the son.
600 dirhams down the drain. So
I mean, it's definitely a very expensive gadget or an expensive gadget to say the least. However, I do feel like, especially for working moms, busy moms, just a, even a busy person in their day-to-day life, having this cup of coffee would make a nice gift to someone, to keep it to make them feel that you're thinking of them and how busy their day gets. And he's not taking me seriously one bit.
I'm taking you seriously, Omnia, but I'm just putting it into perspective because you did say, what if you drop or fall? I mean, that's a hefty 600 dirhams to pay for a coffee mug, but
Yeah.
the idea is great. I mean, regardless, probably in the future we'll see it become cheaper, but
Yeah.
regardless, the idea is great. And if it was cheaper, let's say for 200, 150, I would probably get my hands on it. But for 600 dirhams for a coffee mug, yes, it does have a lot of features connected to your phone. You can mess with the temperature, but I mean, I love coffee. But I do love money as well, and I don't want to put 600 dirhams down for a coffee mug.
I love coffee, but I get where you're coming from because it is an expensive gadget. But I also feel like
Omnia, I found another coffee mug.
what?
For same idea, but this one goes for 1,200 dirhams, Omnia.
Honey, we were just talking about it being expensive. For you to bring up another expensive
This one
mug.
is portable, Omnia.
Oh.
It's like a thermos. Just put it like that and
So you
keep
can,
going.
you know what? You can pour multiple cups, so you can use it for more people.
You will use it for more people. Let us know, 4215 Durasla. Would you buy a coffee mug that goes for 600 dirhams, but it keeps the temperature at the same time all the time?
Yes, and it's called Ember. But let us know what you think about all the stories that we discussed on Future Talk. But we will be seeing you once again, same time, same place, only here on Pulse
95.
The heart of Sharjah. This is Pulse 95. Heart of Sharjah.